studio, I have my partner, Mr. Olubusoye Ogumolawa. Before we go further, we just want to say a big thank you to the frontliner, those one that has been there for us at this point in time where the whole world is experiencing the pandemic. And don't be caught up with the do's and don'ts. There are some things that the doctors and the World Organization want us to do and not do. One of those things that we're asked to do is to use PPE, that is protective equipment, like the gloves. You need your gloves, you need your face mask, which is like a shield. Then you need, in some cases, when you walk, it depends on where you're walking. You need your eyeglass. The way I'm putting it, it feels right. Though it feels, but it protects us from contacting the coronavirus. And also, we need a hand sanitizer. The hand sanitizer, you can always get it in the store and use it as often as possible. Then the last but not least, we are asked to maintain how many feet?
6 feet.
6 feet. Like you guys can see us now. The 6 feet, we have to maintain the 6 feet. What else? We are asked to stay at home. Above all,
Stay at home.
please stay at home and stay safe. All right. Quickly, we're looking at the good, the bad, and the ugly of what's it called? That's LA, Los Angeles, 2019, where it's now an history. We went there, we saw, and we were able to do justice to, do our job accordingly. But some things that we need to, like we do say, history repeats itself, but we want to tell you that bad history should not repeat itself. And that is exactly why we're here today. Take, for example, we're LA together.
Yes.
The eventual winner of the tournament, which is SGFC. If you recall, the quarterfinal, a lot of stuff happened between what's it called? Bender FC and SGFC. That was the quarterfinal. If I'm not mistaken, maybe the second or the third quarterfinal. And eventually, who won the match?
Bender won.
Maybe I should allow you to go ahead and say something about the match.
Yeah, it was a very entertaining event and a very entertaining game between Bendel and SGFC. But at the end of regulation time, so SGFC has to lose the match. But a lot of drama unfolds in that match, in that tournament.
Okay, good. It was on record at regulation time that Bender won the match. But just of a sudden, it now become a drama. And before I let you talk about the drama, I remember similar thing happened in 3 years ago. That should be 2017 in Boston. I remember it's between the same team, which is the SGFC and I think
Stars.
No, not Stars. It was a semi-final.
Yes.
Between SGFC and I don't know if the name is Bender then or Delta Eagles or something like that. But it's still the same team. And what really happened then was there was a draw. And there's about to be a penalty shootout. The same drama again unfold. In that drama, these same two coaches could not agree because eventually nothing happened. You were there too. Maybe I should allow you to take it from there.
Well, actually, I'll start like, when we African, don't let me say African, but
Okay.
we sport lovers, we get carried away when it comes to sport. We're so emotional. We want our team to just win, to lift the trophy. In as much as the tournament is still on, everybody wants to win the trophy. That's why we're here. Fine, it's okay. But from what I see from the match in Boston
Okay.
at the semi-final, so the other team they played I think they played simultaneously.
Yeah.
So we already have a winner for the team A, and we're looking for the second finalist.
That's between Stars and the former champion, which is
Chicago.
Chicago
Yeah,
Gazette.
Gazette.
Yeah.
So when this match between the SGFC and I think it's Bendel, according to the name now, but it's still the same coach. So it goes to the end of regulation time. They have to be a winner.
Exactly.
So there was like actually they both played a draw, and they have to go to penalty kick. It has to be decided by penalty kick because the final is going to continue, and we have to know the winner.
The winner.
But the SGFC coach or the SGFC team decided to substitute their goalie
Okay.
for a player on the field, and I think they should have notified the referee, which I don't know if they did or if they did not. But what I can say was that the other team, which is Bendel, as the name call it now, as they call it now, well, they out of furious, like, no, it is unacceptable. You cannot change your goalie while the game is still on. Why the game ended? Well, the game is still on. Absolutely, technically the game is still on, but
Okay.
the match is not ended.
Okay.
So they were like, you cannot change.
So at that point in time, what was the reaction of the referee?
Yeah, the referee. No, the referee
Because
was
in a situation like that,
yes.
we have a judge on the field
Yeah.
before it moves to the organization or probably the committee or the technical crew by the side. But I believe we have a referee on the field.
The referee was there,
Okay.
but it was the outburst of the fans, the outburst of the supporters.
Okay.
Of Bender. Yeah, let me call them Bender it was the outburst of the fans that
Okay.
they were like, no, we're not going to accept this. This keeper has to continue keeping this.
Before you go further, what really happened then? Is it permissive by FIFA or something like that?
To me, when you check the FIFA guideline, there are some basics on
Okay.
which you can substitute a goalkeeper when it comes to penalty kicks.
Okay.
Number one, if the keeper is injured,
Okay.
or if the goalkeeper cannot continue the match.
Okay.
But in this case, and if he's injured, and if you still have some substitution left on the bench, it is allowed to bring in another goalkeeper for the injured goalkeeper.
Okay.
Before the penalty kick started. Even the penalty kick might have started and the keeper injured himself, you can bring in another goal.
To add to what you just said, I remember that the keeper was down and they called in some official from outside to attest to the fact that the keeper, I think the keeper on the floor, either he could continue or not. And it's like the official really said, well,
You can continue. Yeah.
no, I'm watching from the
Stand, yeah.
from the press stand.
The official, they allowed the match to continue, but it was the supporter, like the opposing team.
Okay.
It was they were the one like, no,
Agitating.
we're not, agitating, like, no, it's not gonna keep. We don't want this. This is what we still want the injured keeper to be on the pitch.
Wow.
Which is not, I don't think, which is
Impossible mission.
it doesn't sound good to me.
Well, at the end of the game, I think at that point in time, we should be learning a lesson. If such thing happen, how do we curb against future occurrence? Now, from what I see, there was the match could not hold.
Yes.
They were just at a loggerhead. It's just like the heaven has been let loose, and we could not move forward. The referee opinion does no longer count. The officials, and both of them were stopped from continue or from a winner emerging. What we saw was the other semi-final. The winner of the second semi-final eventually became the winner. Has it ever been has it ever happened in the history of football? I mean, just let me look at
To
it.
me, it's very funny, and it's a very funny event when we have when it gets to the round of four, that's the semi-final. So we have to have two finalists like already the final. So the other semi-finalists they already produced the finalists that are ready to this final,
Which is the stuff.
which is tough.
Okay.
But the other team could not produce. But what really led for it, I think it was the match MOM,
The match commissioner.
yeah, it was the match commissioner that announced that gave the trophy to the other final, which is very
Rare.
sad and it's very rare, and I could not even believe it. But I think that was what they needed to do at that time because they could not complete the other game.
Let me ask you this question. If you are in the position of MON that made the decision, what will you be saying?
It's a very very delicate. It's very delicate.
Actually, by now we can laugh over it because it's become in an history.
Yeah.
But as at then, everywhere was tense.
Yeah.
I mean, people want to know the outcome, but a decision has to be made.
Sure.
So at that point in time, somebody made a decision.
Yeah, actually, to me, I would go with his decision to some ex. I would go with his decision. I would go with his decision because if the other teams could produce a finalist and you say, "Oh, you are awarding it to you are awarding it to Stars," if SGFC and Bendel could produce a finalist. Okay. And you awarded it to Stars without playing the final, then it's something else. But the other game was disqualified.
Okay.
And definitely we have a front runner, which already has a leg, which is not even a leg. They have both legs in the final. It's just waiting for their opponent to come, and their opponent never showed for. So automatically they are the winner. I would go with his decision.
Okay. At that point, is it possible? We just brainstorm. Is it possible to recall those that lost, the two quarterfinalists that lost to both SGFC and Bender that played the semi-final?
Yeah, to me, in events like this,
it's too late because of the time factor or something like that.
Nothing is too late. You know, when occurrence like this happen, they make them into law.
Okay.
So they try to bring them in the next tournament. They try to list all the laws, all the regulations, the rules that comes into.
So in case of future occurrence, let's assume this thing happen. Instead of not playing final, what do you think we should be doing?
When in a future occurrence, when something like this try to present itself, we should find a way to settle, and there should be a law. We should just find a law to guide all this because the final must be played. We need to watch. The final is the crown of the tournament, so we really need to know who is going to conquer that year. We really know who's going to win the trophy here. So in the case of that occurrence. Well, it's gonna. I don't know. Till then, but we don't want it to happen anyway.
Anyway, to God be the glory. We have our new executive on board now, and we want to say kudos to them for doing a wonderful job. It's like history was about to repeat itself. Bad history in LA 2019, and when we now try to compare the two. 2017 and 2019, same team, same coaches, maybe different players. It's like something, probably because there's no decision, a cogent decision was not made in 2017, probably led to the what was about to happen in 2019. From the look of things, we found out that a lot of arguments, and what happened this time around, this is a little bit different. Unfortunately, it happens to the same thing, but this is a little bit different from what happened in 2017. Can you shed more light on that?
2019 LA, it was a peaceful. Another, I would say, partial. It was okay. It was a good tournament, and we have a final. The final was played. But one thing I've discovered, and one thing
that
I've
happened during semi-final. This is quarter-final.
Yes.
Okay.
One thing I noticed about teams from Maryland, USA, is that they have like 4 teams in the last 2009 in the last LA tournament. One thing I noticed that both 4 teams, like they are just like cat and rat. They never agree. Wherever it's just like
Man U and Chelsea.
it's like a classical.
Okay. So
they really don't like go with themselves. Like it's just like they are two opposite of each other.
Wow.
So when we come to the quarterfinal, what they did was they fielded, I would say, ineligible player.
Okay.
Because according to the rule, you have to register to a team.
Okay.
You can't just, if you want to play a tournament, you can't just come from the street and join a tournament. Okay. You have to be registered for the tournament.
But looking at the nature of the team, basically is a kind of weekend program. About 20 teams going to play. 20 teams divided into 5-5 into 4 groups, and they were meant to play. Friday is a conference. That is where all the teams has the opportunity to be brave. Thank you. I think at the briefing, if I'm not mistaken, the match commissioner made it known that either you have your players, I'm quoting him now, either you have your player present in LA or on their way, register their names. I remember he said that. Then he said we should further have the pictures of each team to prove that this player belongs to you. Then what really happened?
Well, actually, when we look at the football world,
okay,
when you look at FIFA, you look at all these top teams in the world, when you go to their website, to their Wikipedia, you see their names, their country, their pictures and all those stuff. They are registered to that thing. But you cannot expect a Chelsea player like is in reserve to play for
when the league started.
When the league is playing and to play for Man U
and when it's not even on loan yet.
Yes, exactly. If it's on loan, it has to be done. There's a transfer window.
Okay.
But when the tournament is on, I don't think it is what it's.
So in this case, the match is on. The registration completed. The match is on, and they still have to do the magic, or what do you say?
Yeah. Yeah, it is so funny. It's a very
I know we can laugh now because it become a past, but as at then it's like things are not moving.
Yes.
And I remember
they already won the game already. So but
we're looking at the lesson to be learned in this tournament now, because you remember we talked about 2017. It's like no lesson was learned.
Yes.
Probably led to 2019. And that is why I said kudos to the current organization. They were able to actually, let's see what really led to. If a team won, because it was on record that Benden won the quarterfinal. So what exactly led to this same ugly incident that was about to happen again?
What really led to it was,
because there must be a cause.
Stars, there was this player. Should I mention name?
Yeah. Go ahead.
There's this player. He was already registered with Stars.
Okay.
Stars FC was already registered with Stars.
Okay.
From the beginning, the group picture, the name was on Stars. But fortunately, if
I'm not mistaken, I think we have the picture.
Yes, I think we do. So he never played any match for them, according to what they say, but he was registered to that team.
So now clarity. If you have a player, according to the match commissioner, that you should register and take a picture. If you have been registered, you have your name with the team and you have a picture with them. Doesn't matter if you play for them or not.
It does
because
it
a
doesn't
team
really
might
matter.
a team might have you on bench without you playing.
We have players, some players that are on bench all season long that doesn't even come on the pitch.
Okay.
So it's possible. It doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't really matter.
Okay. So the case Bender is building up is that he has not played.
That's what they were building up.
Okay.
Which, according to the rule, he is registered to another team. He's registered to another team.
Which supersede not playing for
the other team. So he wants to shift. So in that case, if that is what is going to happen before you fielded him in the field of play, why not you probably go through the ranks, like notify the committee? Or you just like when there's a problem when you look at the FA, the English Football Association, when there's an infringement in the field of play, they discover something that there's a missed call on the field of play. What they do is they have to go and review it. They go and review it and come back with their final decision.
How try this can be a big
Come on.
For what?
I told you start coming to the tournament. The tournament makes sense. They do every year to us. Come on.
For the meeting, let me tell you, right from time. When you say player cannot play, what is in a bullshit? If a player plays, not to say if the player's name is on the list. Remember that word. A word makes a difference. Look, what we said, I was in the middle. If the player cannot play for two teams, they didn't say.
Isn't that what they say? Nobody's. The reason why we say that because the reason why we say that is because we don't want people to bring it up.
All this player, okay, all this player, you guys check the ID. How do you know what did you guys check the ID? Because nobody. Did you guys check the ID? If you want to be a professional organization, did you check ID? Did you check ID? You know how many players Dallas lose? How many of us know ourselves here? Fela never, if there's a proof that Fela played for another team, then I will understand. I'm not just stupid now. You're not stupid. I'm saying that they use roster. If you want money, you must check ID before.
The lesson from 2019, I don't think it's no lesson learned because no correction made, and if such thing happen, we don't even know. Maybe it's still going to be no final. But in this case, a player was brought, a registered player brought from another team to play, which the team that lost protested.
To me,
and they won the protest.
Yeah, I get what you are saying. To me, 2017, this is what they should have done. Okay, fine. They say you're not going to allow the keeper to come up and the player to keep. Why not let him finish the game and table your demands or table what you saw at the game and table it to the commission? Why not table it
like what they did to them now?
Yes, like why not go
allow the game to go
and go back
and the protest after the
correct. Instead of taking the match in your own hands and trying to disrupt the continuation of the tournament.
Wow. I think a lesson from what Mr. Busoya said now, that we should learn from what happened. One of the things he said now is Bender should have allowed the game to go on in 2017, completed the game, and later protest.
Yes.
Peradventure one, if they don't win the match, because they can go ahead and protest and probably win.
And win it, yes.
Okay, I think that's a good lesson from there. Then this time around, so the other team now
saw the loophole. I think they saw the loophole and took advantage of it.
And allowed the match to end.
Yes.
And took advantage, protested, and it went into their favor.
Yes.
And at the end of the day,
they won the tournament.
Yeah. But before the match could allow to be, go on, as in there was a stampede. There was a standstill. The other Bender coach and their supporters refused. Will not allow the match to move forward. And one of the things that the organizer or the NSF, the NSFUSA did was to call in the cops.
Yeah.
Calling in the cops, is it part of the way of managing situation, or we should have settled it amicably among ourselves? Because I believe bringing the cops
We don't need the cops.
is a kind of giving us bad name.
Yes, because actually what I say is that we are all families.
Okay.
We are everyone is family. We know the sports boys, you don't say within us, it's emotional. Like we have our emotions, we support, we are diehard fans, like want to do things for our team. But at the same time, we also win and lose. We also win and lose. When you win, it's in your favor. There's luck and all this stuff. But I think when it involves the police, should not like let things get involved to the police, because we should like be able to host and manage a whole successful event on our own. And to me, this tournament has been there for long, for more than 10 years, and we are learning day by day, we're improving day by day. But right now, we should be like, I think we should be able to boast like we are hosting a tournament with no police, nothing involved. It should have not gotten to that extent. It should have not gotten to that extent.
Anyway, once again, I want to thank the organizer, the LA local organizing committee, for putting up a wonderful show. It was a success. The tournament, the field, the participants, and a lot of surprises. We've talked about the bad, the ugly. If you have to look at the good side of LA, we have I think we should say this, because if you say something good, we should be able to say it too. I have a surprise team there. They were in Maryland, I think about 7 to 8 years ago, when Maryland or Virginia hosted. And one thing led to the other. They left with annoyance. I'm talking about Atlanta Eagles.
Atlanta Eagles.
They left. They drove all the way from Atlanta with a big bus, and they came. Something went. They left. Since then, they never showed up. Not until LA 2019. So when we're looking at something good that happened, I found out that these guys, they came well prepared. In fact, they have one of the best teams. And looking at them, they eventually lost to one of the finalists, which is Toss, on a penalty kick. Then they went on with the third place. And the most surprising aspect of it was that the team that left some years ago, 7 years ago or thereabout, probably due to, I don't know, maybe the organization says bad behavior or something like that, or there's a quarrel. They came in well prepared, and they eventually won the third place trophy, and the most disciplined
I watched it.
Most disciplined, what's it called? Team and trophy. What can you say about that?
Yeah, I watched the third place. I saw the game. I think they played against this team from New York. Or it was what I can see. Yeah, what I see from them is that they actually, you are right. They came prepared. Their passes, the way they organized the team. They were like, you know what, we are going to do this. We are going to do that. Like the way the ball was flowing, they are reading. Like it's just like they were well prepared in a nutshell. They were well prepared, and they came and. Because they have this, I can see the endurance in them, and they keep going until. But that's what I'm saying. Some people say game's a game of luck. They should have been in the final, but they lost because of penalty shootout. So they really came. I saw the game, and what I would say is probably I would even add to this, because the 2018 was held in Houston, Texas. And when we look at the geographical location of Houston and Atlanta, it's very close.
Okay.
They're not really that far. So probably they could sense, or probably they heard about the tournament in Houston, and they were like, okay, let us come. And it is very welcome idea, and I think they'll be proud of themselves.
Right. Thank you. Atlanta Eagle, from our hand, you should be proud of yourself, and we say kudos for coming and for putting up a never say die spirit. And at the end, everything about you is perfect. You're talking about the outfit, you're talking about the dressing, you're talking about the comportment, you're talking about the support, you're talking about the technical crew. I mean, they have, for the first time, I think they have one of the, they were opportune to have one of the Nigeria S-player, a female, I think the person of Judith Shima, who led the team to the semi-final.
From
the top place.
To the top place, to the top place. Yeah, from what I see from the team, they really understood the ball. They understood the ball. They could make the passes. Like, they were very patient and resilient. When you look at the in-depth of the team, they were very resilient and they were very patient. They were not trying to. It's just like they were prepared because they know when to go forward. They know when to defend. They know like the passes, how to connect. Because when I look at the top place match, they really broke up. I thought New York was gonna win the top place. They really broke them down. And got their goals, and that's how they got the medal. Which is kudos to them.
Well, once again, kudos to Atlanta Eagles and as many teams that participated. There are a lot of teams this time around that came up. We're talking about the brothers from the other side, Real Sociedad. It's now becoming a very, very large and competitive tournament. And one of the things that we have seen this year, like I said, kudos to the organization, because for the first time, top place match was played with a trophy and a monetary value. So in the past, it's like we don't really value the top place. We just based on points. And we can attribute top place specialists to SGFC. They've been in the top place for a long time, about 4 times, until they eventually became the winner early 2019. Well, so far so good. If you have any comments, if you have anything to say concerning LA 2019, you can as well join the conversation, subscribe, put a comment there, then we'll be glad to, kind of answer your question. And at the end, we judge you, and there's always a time for us to, at the meeting point, so that we can always learn from each other. So far, we've learned a lesson from 2017 and 2019. One of the lessons was that the match that was not concluded, somebody saw the reason why it was not concluded, and instead of same mistake to be repeated, he capitalized on it, allowed the match to end, and protested, which is a lesson to be learned by everybody.
Yeah, they could have protested to no, you're not going to play. We're not going to allow you. You're not going to come in. He has registered for that team, and they disrupt the flow of it because they were losing because Bender was already winning. So they were when they brought him in, they already won the match. But when they brought the player in, they could have protested no, he was registered to that. But they
see it as an
no problem. Yeah, come in, and that was the loophole they capitalized on.
Well, viewers, we want to say thank you for being there for us. We want to say thank you for watching. I still remember myself, Rotimi Omope, and with me in the house is Mr. Busoyi. Thank you. When we come back, same station, same studio next time, we will always be there for you. Bye for now.